Hi, Matt Noyes, 1 degree outside weekend edition, designed to get you through both weekend days, recorded and posted on Saturday. And by the way, the video out of Wildcats, awesome, isn't it? Skiing looks great, but what stands out to me is it's like a winter wonderland. Look how the snow stuck to everything everywhere, right? Northern New England's been doing great. We've been building the base for skiers, for boarders, for snowmobilers. We're going to get more here over the weekend for a lot of us in New England. You can track it all, including live radar with our app, totally free. Noyes' 1 degree outside weather on the App Store and Google Play. Okay, high temperatures on our Saturday. Again, some of you may watch this on Sunday. We'll take care of you in a second if you are. High temperatures Saturday, 30s south, 20s north. So you've got what is a real cool air that's in place, and that's why the pavement and air temperatures will both be below freezing as we head to the overnight tonight. Even down to the south coast, you probably snow for a little bit before a southwest wind switches you to raindrops. For the rest of us, because it is colder, the snow is not a real heavy, wet, sloppy consistency. It'll have a little bit more fluffiness to it. It'll add up a little bit quicker. The heart of tonight's disturbance comes across northern New England, where snow begins between 8 and 11 in northwestern New England. The rest of us, here's 11 p.m., starting to see the snow advancing. From midnight on, you fill a lot of that in. Now, notice the temperature's cold enough, it will stick. When you get along the south coast, maybe not. Maybe you get a little sloppy coating and then it goes over to raindrops. But Boston stays at freezing all the way past midnight into the pre-dawn hours. We do the same thing for a lot of spots north of the Mass Pike. Comes to an end tomorrow morning at about 6 to 8 a.m. from west to east, a little bit later in northern New England, and it will continue across the northwestern and western slopes of the mountains in northern New England, what we call upslope snow. Actually, we've already seen some of that going on in the Berkshires on this Saturday morning, blowing all the way off Lake Ontario, getting a little bump by the mountains. One thing I will caution you toward, when you get these types of events tonight, they are driven by warm and moist air coming in aloft and colliding with our cold. A lot of times, historically in New England, we tend to underestimate the amount of precipitation that's going to come with these events. So when I show you a coating to an inch in this area in gray, I wouldn't just assume it's a coating and that's it. You very well may end up on the inch side of things. Same thing in the big 1 to 2 area that's in white. You very well may end up on the 2-inch side of things if error in the past is any indication that a lot of times we underestimate how much precipitation will fall. And remember, because of the colder temps, particularly north of the Pike, that increases the accumulation efficiency. So you're treating regardless, but in a number of areas you may need to push the snow around as well if you work doing that type of stuff with plowing. You get into the Berkshires, and again, you've had the snow already this morning. You're going to get a little enhancement as we get to the night tonight. Once you break north of Hooksett, yes, that's a 2 to 4 if you line it up with the Legend, the light blue. Generally, again, I think you're on the 3 and 4 inch side of this. You get up into the big blue, the deeper blue that you see, and this is where we've got a 4 to 6 inch snow. But some of the high terrain of the North Country ends up running probably an 8 to 12 inch snow when you add up everything from the weekend. And that's particularly in those areas that face north or west in the mountains where you get some of that upslope snow. Same type of thing in Maine. You get a little bit more in the mountains, for example, than you get down to the valleys. But what's interesting to me here is that at the mid-coast of Maine, the coastline of Maine along Route 1, you really don't get much changeover out of this event. There's just too much cold air that's in places. This stuff's all coming in, right? Okay, in terms of tomorrow, if you can get the driveway scraped down and show some pavement, you're fine. I mean, nature's going to take care of the rest. You're into the 40s all the way up to Manchester and Portland. The farther north you go, maybe not quite as much in the way of melting during the course of the day, and then it refreezes overnight Sunday night. Getting into Monday, you know what? We do warm into the 40s in southern New England. It is still cold enough in northern New England that when the next event arrives, which is going to be Monday late day, evening, and night, it will be accumulating snow and probably several inches of it again in northern New England. In southern New England, the deeper interior you are, the better chance there is that you may get a little bit of a wintry mix on the front side of this thing on Monday evening and then go over to raindrops. By the time we get to Tuesday, it's leftover mixed showers that'll be with us. It's not a real pretty day, but it's not terrible. And you get ready for the next round of moisture to come in, which I told you in Weekend Insights, still posted at 1degreeoutside.com, that there is hope that it may end up being snow, not rain in northern New England. But I have to tell you, the trend more and more is to try and bring a pretty good slug of warmth with this thing as it makes its way in our direction. So we'll keep you posted on that. In the meantime, swag.1degreeoutside.com if you'd like to support us that way. That's how things are looking for now. Stay safe this weekend. Have a great weekend. Send us your reports, the Send to Us tab in the app. A great way to get us your pictures and your reports. We always appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of the weekend.